How did the date go? Fine, I'll tell you.
Oh, goody. A dating story from the dating coach that's perpetually single. Go ahead, sweetie.
I'm not proud of this story, by the way. Okay, this was not a good moment for me. So basically, we went to a bar, we met up for drinks, and I was trying to suss out if he was Jewish because, like I said, he has a very Jewish sounding name. Turns out he's not. He goes, I have a Jewish friend who probably needs your matchmaking services, though, and I'll invite him by. He's in the area. So I was like, okay, sure, why not? I'm not one to turn down business, okay?
Yeah, for you, that just stopped being a date and became about money. And because of the dollar signs you suddenly got in your eyes, you missed something very important, Miss Dating Coach.
So the friend comes by. It's the three of us now. We're conversing, we're chatting. Pleasant, decent conversation. Really nice guy. However, I start saying, oh yeah, him and I were just I was just telling this to him, and him and I were just talking about this. Like, I'm referring to the guy that I went on the date with to his friend. And the guy that I went on the date with stops me mid-conversation, and he goes, Nellie, do you remember my name?
No.
And I was so caught off guard, you guys, that I froze and I drew a complete blank. And
Let's go ahead and pause right there. She just went on the date because she wants the free meal. Let's keep it 100. Most girls go on dates because they want free meals and they don't want to pay for their own meal. That is just the reality.
the truth is I did not remember his name.
Hey, I'm not surprised,
Yeah, because you didn't care to know it in the first place. Plus, you were paying more attention to the friend because you wanted him as a customer.
So instead of just saying that, instead I blurted out a random other name that came to my mind. I was like, maybe it's this. And he goes, no. And they're like, the friend's like, I can't believe she forgot your name. And they didn't even correct me. They just let me sit there and sulk in that. And so I start pulling out my phone, trying to discreetly search through old texting chains because I didn't even have his number saved.
Yeah, because you weren't really interested in him. You probably just went out with him to spend his money.
To find the name.
Facts.
And finally I found it. And the date ended pretty much right after that. He was like, you're free to go if you want. I was like, yeah, I think I need to walk my dog. So yeah, not sure if I'll be hearing from him again.
No, you won't. Because you see, the guy tested you, sweetie. First, he tested you by suggesting to call over a friend to your date, and you immediately accepted instead of saying, this is a date, not a business meeting. And the second time he tested you was when he asked if you knew his name, and you didn't. And by doing that, he made you lose out on a potential customer, and he embarrassed you in public.
Because that's what heroes do.
So, the moral of the story is, you're too much of a gold digger for your own good, sweetie. And it's probably why you're still single in your late 30s.
Facts.
My chivalry is dead indicator is the fact that I take the subway to and from work 2 to 3 times a week. I've been doing it, minus COVID, for 10 years almost for work. And I cannot recall a single time that a man has offered to give me a seat on the subway.
Yeah, that's called gender equality.
I'm wearing high heels.
Yeah, it is true what she's saying. Most guys are not going to give up their seat for a woman in the subway at all. I live in Miami. They're not doing it. It's because of equality, right? The way women are acting, the way women are disrespecting men. Most men are just tired of it. That is just a fact.
A lot. I'm a woman wearing high heels, and I've never once, not once, been offered a seat on the subway.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
Sweetie, listen, gender equality aside, sometimes men do offer seats out of the kindness of their hearts, usually to older people or pregnant women.
I was just about to say
But me personally, I've never offered my seat to an entitled, arrogant corpo drone with a resting bitch face who gives off the impression that she's too good for the other peasants riding the subway.
Run into a lot
What's
of
your chivalry is dead indicator?
I lived in a different country for almost a year, and one thing that became very apparent to me is the fact that chivalry is very much not dead in America. I lived in Germany, so maybe this is a Germany-specific thing. But in Germany, men will not open the door for you. They will not go out of their way to help you. Essentially, they will not treat you any differently than they would a man. And it's because in Germany there is this fierce equality of the sexes, but not even equality. They just view women as the exact same as men, meaning why would they go out of their way to do something extra for women when women are just as capable of doing it themselves?
Yeah, that's the exact definition of gender equality.
I will give you a couple of more concrete examples. So when I was moving back to the United States from Germany, I did not ship any of my stuff. I just carried 4 very, very heavy suitcases through the airport. Obviously I checked my bags, but I had to get them through the airport to check them. Anyways, when I was in the German airport, everyone just kind of looked at me like I was crazy. No one offered to help, nothing like that. But it becomes very apparent when I touch down in the United States, and I touched down like Seattle or Salt Lake City or something was my connecting flight, and you have to recheck your bag. And when I tell you I did not pick up a single one of my suitcases from the conveyor belt because someone helped me every single time. Like, I would say in a span of 20 minutes, at least 5 different people, and they all happened to be men, asked me if I needed help with my bags. And the sense of relief that I felt, because it was a very tough day. Those were very, very heavy suitcases.
Weakness completely revolts me.
And it was stressful. It was hard to carry them all by myself. And the sense of relief that I felt coming back into the United States and having so many people ask me if I needed help to grab my bags from the conveyor belt. Difference between in Germany when nobody...
Oh, shut up.
Well, sweetie, that sense of relief you felt was returning to female privilege and experiencing gender equality, thereby kind of proving that old manosphere saying, when a woman gets so used to privilege, equality feels like oppression.
Pathetic.
I hated intimacy with my husband. I actually dreaded it. I would literally count the days in my head where 3 days kind of felt like a number that kind of felt like too long, so I should probably just go ahead and do it. But every single night, we would get in bed and I would lay there with anxiety because I would feel like he probably wanted it. But even throughout the day, I hated him touching me. Every kiss, every cuddle, every back rub, it would give me the slight anxiety because I felt like...
Why would you get married if you don't like your husband doing all that? The whole point of having a relationship is for you to like your individual, for you to be intimate with your partner. I don't know what's wrong with these women.
It came with an expectation.
Then why did you marry him?
Money!
One time he suggested we did one of those 30-day intimacy challenges and I cried. Another time he bought those spicy couples card and I literally had a full-blown panic attack.
Bruh.
You know, the even better question is, why in the funk did he marry you?
I remember Googling therapist to try and figure out why I felt this way.
It's because you weren't attracted to him. It's not rocket science. Still, funny how you didn't get panic attacks by...
It's extremely, go ahead and pause it. It's extremely important that you guys know the type of woman you guys are gonna, if you guys ever plan on getting married, right? Most of these women, when they want to get married, is because they're ready to settle down, right? They already got done with the Chads, the Tyrones, the Pookies, and Ray Rays. They already got done with that, right? And they settled for the guy that was in the friend zone that waited for them for 10 years. You never want to be the guy in the friend zone. You never want to be the guy in the friend zone. This woman's literally bashing her husband for him showing a lot of interest in her, for him actually putting effort into her, right? And then she doesn't even like the guy.
in his house or spending his money.
I remember scheduling doctor's appointments when my libido was so low. I genuinely thought something was wrong with me.
Yeah, something is wrong. It's called dishonesty.
I thought maybe it was my hormones, maybe my drive was just broken, maybe I was just one of those women who just did not enjoy intimacy at all. I remember even saying to myself, if I went my whole entire life never having intimacy, I would be okay with it. For basically 10 years, I was asking myself, what is wrong with me? After our divorce, I became determined to figure this out because I never wanted to bring that into another relationship. After our divorce, I researched, I learned, I just became curious. I bought the toys. I just wanted to figure out and break down these walls of why I felt the way I did. But then I realized I don't hate intimacy. I hated feeling emotionally disconnected from the person I was being intimate with.
Translation, she wasn't attracted to the guy she was with.
Right.
Yeah, because all the Chads and Tyrones she did in high school and college gave her emotional connection while overblowing her box.
Bullshit.
If I'm being honest, I still do carry guilt over the fact that I wasn't able to give him that part of our marriage. because I know intimacy matters. A marriage can't thrive when two people feel disconnected, and I own that. But here's what I don't own: his decision to cheat. Marriage problems are real. Dead bedroom.
A lot of Christian guys who are waiting for the right woman, yet most of these women, when they're done with the 3 or 4 phase, turn religious, and then they're settling with these women. And this is exactly what's happening in the near future, ends up in a divorce, and they ask themselves why. Because they lack experience with women. This is why I encourage, if you're a man of God, if you're a Christian, try to go on as many dates as you want. You don't necessarily have to be intimate with it, but you could understand the personality, understand the type of woman who's good for venting, understand which woman's good for a relationship, which woman's good for the the hookup, which woman you think it's good for long term. That's extremely important.
Are real. Disconnection is real. But when those things happen, you have conversations. You ask for counseling. You fight for your marriage.
Oh, shut up.
Sweetie, by your own admission, he tried to make it work, and your response to him wanting to be intimate with you was to have a full-on panic attack.
One time he suggested we did one of those 30-day intimacy challenges, and I cried. Another time he bought those spicy couples card, and I literally had a full-blown panic attack.
And to those of you who don't know what a panic attack looks like, the person starts shaking with intense fear, breathing very quickly like they can't actually breathe. Heart rate and blood pressure get really high and can mimic signs of a heart attack, plus other equally jarring symptoms that can be case-specific, like spontaneous vomiting or loss of bowel control and soiling themselves.
Bruh.
Now, imagine being the husband, and every time you want to be intimate with your wife, she reacts with some version of that.
Man, that's messed up.
And by the way, she got called out in the comments section about it, and this was her response. It was his job to live like a man. Personally, I think she did this crap on purpose so she can leverage the adultery and the panic attacks in the divorce and get as much of his assets as possible. But hey,
explain exactly what happened. So this simp that decided to marry her obviously didn't have a lot of experience with women, right? He just went blindly, married her. She saw him as a last good guy option. Divorced him, probably has half of his assets, right? And then when she divorced him, probably got half of his assets. He wasn't able to make her feel like the Chad and Tyrone's make her feel in the past. Got bored of him, right? And after they got bored of him, now she's looking for a Chad and Tyrone. Chad and Tyrone blueprinted her, and this is the reason why that relationship ended, because she's comparing that guy to all the guys in her past, and she wasn't used to good guys. She used to bad guys, and that's why she was bored with the relationship. That's why she ended it. She used a simp, took half his assets, and kept it moving. All right, guys, that is the end of the video. Make sure you guys subscribe and hit follow for more. Ivan out.